Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, what is the total surface area of the rectangular prism below in square inches? So we are looking for total surface area, and the shape that we're going to be working with is rectangular prism. So first of all, let's analyze what it means by total surface area. Okay, total means everything. So what we're going to do is we need to find the area for every face that you have in the rectangular prism. Okay, and we can do that, but we can also follow a formula. Okay, and the formula that we can actually follow is S equals PH plus 2B, where the P is the perimeter of the base and the capital B is the area of the base. So very important that we identify the bases, right? So let's go ahead and start with my perimeter, right? So there's two ways that I can find the perimeter of the base. I can either add up all the length and the width that I have in my rectangle, or I can actually follow a formula. So I'm going to do a formula for perimeter, and that calls for 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay? So perimeter means the distance around a shape, right? So what we're going to do is I am going to identify the perimeter that I'm talking about. And of course, this has to do with the bases, okay? So there's the perimeter for that one. If you look at the opposite face, it's congruent because remember, opposite faces are congruent, okay? So those are the numbers that I am going to use for the perimeter. So I'm going to write down perimeter equals 2 times the length, which is 8 inches, plus 2 times the width, which is 3 inches. Okay, so this is my length and this is the width. Okay, so let's multiply 2 times 8, it's 16 inches, plus 2 times 3, it's 6 inches. If you add up these two numbers, we get 22 inches, and that's the perimeter. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this number. So I can either go back to my formula and start replacing the values, right? It's up to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, then, I'm actually going to come back to my surface area formula, and I will replace that capital P with 22 inches. Okay, then it says to multiply by the height. The height is the distance between both bases. Okay, so that number will be your 4 inches. Okay, so look what I did here. My P is my 22 inches. The height, it's 4 inches, which is right here. This is the height of my shape. Okay, let's continue with my formula. And now I'm going to write down plus 2 times, and I need to find capital B. Well, capital B means area of the base. Okay, so we have it right here. This is my area of the base. Okay, let's continue. I don't know if you noticed, but I changed the color for the height to blue just to combine it with, of course, the blue one on the formula. Because if you notice my area of the base, I'm using green. So I want to make sure that I don't get confused with that, or I don't get you confused with that. So my area of the base. So what is that? Remember, area means the inside space of a figure. So this will be my area for my base. Agree on that? Okay, so that's green, right? That's my area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a label for that. And the label that I'm going to write down is going to be capital B for this. Because remember, that means area of the base. Okay, so there is a formula for area of the base. Since it's a rectangle, we multiply length times width. Is that right? Okay, good. So I have it right here. Length times width. And notice how I wrote capital B instead of A for area. Because when I replace my value on the formula, I want to make sure that it matches. Okay? So let's find the area for my rectangle. So I am going to find it by multiplying length, which is 8 inches, times 3 inches. So my area of the base is going to be 24 square inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down that 24 that I found. I'm going to replace it right here on my formula. So I will write down 24 square inches. Okay, so that is going to be also green. Okay, so notice what I replace. I replace the P for the perimeter of the base. I replace the height for the 4 inches. And I'm replacing now capital B, which is area of the base, which is my rectangle. Okay, so let's finish up the problem. So now I'm going to multiply 22 times 4 inches. That gives me 88, right? Square inches. Now, remember that PH is the lateral surface area of the rectangle. So if the question was to ask you, find the lateral, then I will finish right there. But the question is total. So that's what I need to continue my problem. So I'm going to say plus, and I'm going to multiply 24 times 2. And I will get 48 square inches, right? I'm going to add up 88 plus 48, and I get 136 square inches. Okay, so that is my total surface area. Okay, so look at the answer choices and see if we can find one that either matches that or is very close to that. Okay, so I do see letter B for that one.